next session, Media and Communal Politics. The speakers for this session are P. Sainath, Sashi Kumar, Nikhil Vagre, and Geeta Seshu. Can we please invite our speakers on stage? In the face of the Rohit Vemula and JNU incidents, the role of the media has been repeatedly criticized. The nature of debates instigated and conducted and consent manufactured, the doctoring of videos and the uncovering of the truth that the nation wanted to know, needed to be discussed and critiqued. Today to discuss the same, we have P. Sainath, a celebrated journalist and winner of the Ramon Magsaysay Prize. In 2014, he won the World Media Summit Global Award for Excellence in Public Welfare Reporting. A former rural affairs editor at The Hindu, he recently founded PARI, People's Archive of Rural India, which according to him is meant to be an archive and living journal of history of rural India. His book, Everybody Loves a Good Rod, now in its 43rd print, was declared a Penguin Classic in January 2013. Sashi Kumar is the chairman of the Asian College of Journalism, Chennai. He founded Asianet, one of the first satellite TV channels in the country. Nikhil Vagre is a senior journalist and political commentator. He was with the IBN Lokmat, the Marathi language news channel of the IBN group. He resigned from the channel in 2014. Geeta Seshu is an independent journalist based in Mumbai. She will chair this session. I request Geeta to kindly take over the proceedings.
Okay, fine. Good evening, everybody. This has been an amazing day because it's so energizing to see so many people. I don't want to keep saying the young people because I think we've heard enough of that, but it is really amazing to see so many people here in Mumbai and for an issue like this. There's been a ferment, and all of us have seen a lot of it, especially definitely in the media. And a lot of us have exchanged information and discussed a lot of what has been happening over social media. So I wouldn't like to give too much of an introduction. We have a wonderful panel before us. I've been asked to make a small announcement that Kumar Ketkar was not able to attend this. He had to go somewhere else. He was here in the morning, and actually he was going to be chairing this. So I've decided now that it's been decided that I will take on this role of the chair. We've got Nikhil Vagre and Sashi Kumar and then Sainath. That's the order of the speakers. I'll just flag off a few issues and then I'll ask for the panel to begin. I think it's pretty obvious that there's a huge trust deficit in the media today. More than trust deficit, which we've all been discussing and grappling with for quite some time now, especially because of the kind of issues of corruption or paid news and private treaties and all the rest of it that several of us who have been actively engaged with the media are familiar with. The Radia tapes, of course, was one major issue that affected the way in which we all looked at how media people behaved and what the roles that they played. But more than just the trust deficit, over the last few weeks, and especially the events of the last few weeks in GNU, have resulted in a lot of revulsion, a lot of disgust with the way in which sections of the media have covered what happened in GNU, and not just covered it, but also engineered a lot of the kind of absolutely false coverage that we saw, perhaps also inciting and inflaming a lot of the passions that came out of the coverage that they aired. The media, of course, is a very huge beast, and there are estimates all the time about how much the media is valued at. We have this thing called the FICCI, which keeps putting out every year. It puts out these revised estimates. It's supposed to be about 100 billion rupees for 2016. It's a huge and absolutely incredibly growing media. If you look at the statistics, there are statistics about how we have about over a lakh registered newspapers. We are a country with about 650 television channels, about half of them being news channels. Private FM channels, which are about 245, about 179 community radio stations, but of course that doesn't count because our government still does not allow any news on community radio. So this is a very huge beast. It's also a very hungry beast. And its hunger needs to be fed all the time. So 24/7 manufacturing of a lot of the news that we all have to consume and we all end up consuming. I'm not even going into the internet, which is supposed to be, again, a huge area of growth. Despite the very low penetration of internet in our country, we are still supposed to be the world's second largest internet user base. Of course, the media doesn't operate in a vacuum. It's expected to be very much part of the kind of communalization of society that we are seeing. So it reflects a lot of the values that society is supposed to have, but it also shapes a lot of those values. And this is a very strange relationship that the media has. Today we could discuss, and I think we will be discussing, a lot of good media, bad media. We'll be discussing a lot of what is good journalism, media and communal politics. We'll be discussing issues of whether the media reinforces stereotypes, what the media does about issues of objectivity, whether issues like fairness and accuracy are better standards to be adopted at a time like this. But what I really would think that we could also discuss perhaps later when we have time for discussion is what I would consider the twofold aspect of today's debate at least. One would be accountability. How does one make this media accountable? What are the mechanisms by which one can make this media accountable? How effective can those mechanisms be? We have a statutory authority for print media called the Press Council, which several of us have bemoaned a number of times, has absolutely no teeth. We have a non-statutory authority, self-regulatory body called the NBSA, the News Broadcasters Authority, which is set up by the News Broadcasting Association of all the news broadcasting channels. And this is again an authority which doesn't show much effectiveness, especially in major issues. It started on a very, very bad note, as some of you may know. Its very first order was against India TV. The head of India TV is Rajat Sharma. And in 2008, during the Mumbai terror attacks, his channel aired a doctored interview with a famous, well-known Pakistani analyst, a US-based analyst called Farhana Ali. And this interview was actually given by Miss Ali to Reuters, but India TV decided to dub it in Hindi and air it on their channel. When India TV was pulled up, and this was the first order of the NBSA, they were pulled up and a fine of rupees 1 lakh was levied on them. India TV decided to do the best thing it could. Rajat Sharma resigned from the channel, from the NBSA, and he decided to walk out. Now this is, subsequently of course, he was prevailed upon to return. The reason why I gave you this little bit of information, this anecdote, is to tell you that it's not a perfect situation, the kind of self-regulatory mechanism that exists for television today. So accountability is a major issue. The other issue, of course, is something that exercises all of us and will keep coming up, I presume, and also in the discussion, is the agenda of the media. What exactly is the media up to? Who owns this media? Which kind of business houses have what sort of interests? The complete lack of transparency of anything to do with their ownership. And also the kind of nexus that a lot of the media houses have with political parties and the way in which they further it. So we need to discuss that, and of course at some stage we will definitely need to discuss alternatives, which is where it'll be most interesting to see what Sainath has to say. So I'm going to, without further preamble, call Nikhil Wagle to come and speak with us. Nikhil needs absolutely no introduction. Fortunately, none of the speakers here need any introduction. They're all very well-known people, and Nikhil is someone who has fought at both the level of his ideas and his media, as well as had to face direct attacks from the Shiv Sena for a lot of his views. So Nikhil has walked the talk in many ways, and it'd be wonderful to hear him. Nikhil. The worst thing about being the chair is you have to police everybody else. 15 minutes per speaker. And I can be very strict, I'm afraid.